Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the fuck up.
And new undisputed UFC Middleweight Champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we know you've missed us. We know you've been freaking out. We know you've been abusing us all on social media, on Instagram, saying, where the fuck is the podcast? Well, it was Memorial Day on Monday. And I don't know about you, Mr. Smith, but are we entitled to lives?
I think so. I think we're allowed to. I was traveling and I was, going out to ride my razors and do my redneck shit. So I was going to miss Monday anyways.
Oh, that's to be fair, you are correct. Brian, do I need to be on the other side so when I'm looking, or am I wrong? Sorry, Brian. Boom, there it is.
There we
a
go.
lot of people were saying
that's like magic.
I know Brian is quite the magician. A lot of people were saying you've definitely taken over the podcast because that's the driving seat. That's the driving seat, and I was always on that side.
Shit.
But I got a high def camera, and so when I have to look at the screen, it looks like I'm looking at Anthony. Anyway, what was I saying? What were
Monday,
we saying?
the holiday. Yeah,
Monday, Memorial.
And everyone's mad at us.
Well, fuck them. We love you, buddy. We love you all. It's my fault. It is my fault because we were supposed to do the show on Tuesday. It's Memorial Day. I might have had a few beers and I might have woke up Tuesday morning with the worst headache known to man. And
Did you?
I didn't even drink a lot. I had 4 drinks at dinner. We went out for dinner at this little restaurant. Harrington and Brian know it. The what they call the pork belly tacos.
Yeah, the taco spot. That place is great.
Yeah. So we went there. I had 4 vodkas with dinner. That was it. Went back.
4 vodkas would fucking cripple me.
Well, okay. But then I came back and I had 2 glasses of wine. But they're big glasses. And maybe a beer or 2 as well. So yeah, when I woke up Tuesday.
Your 4 drinks just turned into 8.
Yeah, but 4 drinks at the restaurant.
That's the only ones you count, is the ones you have at dinner.
Exactly, the ones I paid for. But yeah, dude, I was dead to the world. I was almost throwing up. I had diarrhea. I had a blazing headache, and I'm like, guys, do you want to do Thursday? Because
Thursday.
And you're like, that's actually better for me. And I swear to God, if I could dance, I would have done a victory dance. So anyway, apologies. It was my fault. We didn't get a show on Monday, but we're here. We got the Lion Smith. We got the Count. We got the Lion Heart, should I say. How the hell are you, Anthony?
Fucking rough over here, Mike. I'm rough. It's my first week of training camp, like officially here in Denver. Well, listen, I train at home. It's a lot of skill building. I'm the only I don't want to sound like I'm trashing my training partners because they're all very, very high level guys.
Yeah, but your training partners suck. I get it.
That's not what I said.
You did. No. You implied it. I read between the lines. I extrapolated the info.
I'm the most high level guy there. So there's not like anyone that's my size that's super close to my skill level. So, they're not the hardest training sessions all the time. It's a lot of jujitsu. I probably do mostly jujitsu here at home. So
right.
I get here to Denver. It's at altitude. It's with the Factory X entire team. There's a bunch of big guys. They're all in the UFC or other high-level organizations. They're all ranked in the world. And I am not acclimated to the altitude, and I'm not in like the shape that they're in every day here. They beat my fucking ass. Like door to door, bell to bell. I had like 2 good rounds. I mean, we had like an hour and a half, technique session where we're drilling hard for that hour and a half, and I felt good. I was like, I'm in great shape. We're at altitude. I'm good.
I'm flying.
First round of sparring, I was like, okay, that's not bad. It's flow sparring. There's like no hard shots or anything. After that, I was cooked. It was it. They beat my ass. And I couldn't do anything. Like it's just embarrassing. You can't do anything you want to do. So then you just got to be a zombie, and it was awful. Like, it is bad,
especially when in your position, one of the top light heavyweight contenders on the planet. And when I was in a similar position, when you go into those places, people are like, "Oh, Lionheart's here. Oh, let's see what he's got." You know what I mean? And you're out of shape. It's like you will get in shape. You can't stay in fight shape forever. And right now, there is the process. I'm building. I'm getting better. But it as a man, it's hard to take sometimes. You know what I mean? The ego definitely gets affected.
I just keep telling everyone, fucking 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks, and you guys are all getting this shit back. Give me 2 weeks.
I see a couple of little bruises on there, Anthony.
Yeah, I do. I don't even know where it came from. I don't even know. That's how many times I got punched in the face. I don't even know which one it came from.
Who do you want me to beat up? Let's get down to it. I mean, who do I got to get?
We're going to start with Cody Brundich. And this is why we're going to start with Cody Brundich.
All right.
He had that really incredible fight at the Apex not that long ago. Got a bonus. Remember, he got pretty beat up the whole round and then caught that nasty choke with that huge. God, I forget the guy's name, but Lungiambula.
Dalsha Lungiambula fighting out of Africa.
Yeah, so he fought Lungiambula and kind of took a beating for a little while and got that guillotine. But anyways, he's just this wiry, pretty strong 85er, but he fights like he's a welterweight or something. He's just up and down and fake shots and footwork and angles, and it's just like you can't catch him. So I'm already fucking out of shape and tired, and I can't get a hold of him. Then there's this new guy that I've never trained with before. He's a PFL guy. His name is Rob Wilkerson, I think. Wilkerson. He was Adesanya's first fight in the UFC, I guess.
Rob Wilkinson.
Wilkinson. He's from Australia.
Yep.
God damn, he is just big and he's in shape and he's about to fight in like 2 weeks. So he's peaking and I'm fucking dying. God damn, everybody beat me up.
Well, it's part of the process, you know.
Yeah.
But I
got a good strong hold on my self-confidence. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it because I deserve it. And you know what? In 2 weeks, I'll get it on.
But that's what you need, though. That's what you need, because you go in there, you get your ass kicked, and it sends a message. Shit, I got a fight coming up. I got to turn it on. I got to do the road work. I got to push myself in training. I got to stick to the diet and all these things, you know, because yes, naturally you have your skills and you have your mentality and your confidence and your natural fighting ability with your skills, but you can't. This is why I always say conditioning is everything. You know, you got to have the skills and you got to have the bravery and the courage to do it in the first place. But if you haven't got the fucking cardio to go with it,
it don't matter.
Unless you can knock the guy out in 30 seconds, you're done. Simple as that.
Crazy.
Anyway, today's a big day for me, Anthony. I thought I'd let you get that out of your system because I actually wanted to know what was going on with the face. It's a special day, Anthony. It is the Queen's, Her Royal Highness, Queen Elizabeth II, 70-year jubilee. I know. You're ecstatic. You're overcome with emotion.
It's just her birthday?
No, 70 years on the throne.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my wife was saying something the other day about we talked about this a little bit. So in order to become the queen, does that mean that your parents have to pass away? So she lost her parents pretty early then, right?
Yeah, I think so.
She was like 26.
I have watched The Crown on Netflix. Rebecca? No, she's nowhere here. She knows that stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's a succession. You know what I mean? So yes, she was made the queen very, very young. She's 96 now, I think. But anyway, so right now in London, and it made me proud to be British. Listen, I'm not a big I'm joking, by the way. I'm not a big royalist, I think is the phrase, you know, and the monarchy is a little outdated and all the rest of it. But it does show the history of the country. And that I love. I love that. And, you know, they bring in so much money in tourism attractions and the pomp and the circumstance and everything. It's pretty fucking cool. It is. And when you see it today, that all the planes flying over, hundreds of thousands of people in London all waving the flags and stuff. I was like, I wish I was there. I was going
to say that'd be something really cool to go see.
Yeah.
That would be something cool just to be there in person.
So anyway, Brian, play that clip. I was just looking online and I came across this clip and I don't know. I thought I'd share this one with you guys.
It's not often someone does the same job for 70 years. So in Britain, they're in the mood for a party to celebrate their beloved queen and her platinum jubilee. There was a last-minute practice for tomorrow's military parade.
Look how cool that is.
With some camping out on the street tonight.
Listen.
Secure front row seats.
We don't have anything like this in the States. I mean, look at the pomp and the circumstance. I mean, you know, nobody does anything up like this. I mean, what do we have? We have some fireworks over the Statue of Liberty on the 4th of July.
At 96.
I mean, all right. I mean, listen, it's not a competition. It's not a competition, but people.
We don't have anything like that.
You're Americans. They even conceded. They threw in the towel and said, "You've got us. You've got us." So, Brian Harrington, I need a 4 shot. Okay. Repeat after
all my
me.
paraphernalia is hidden. We're good.
I pledge allegiance to Queen Elizabeth II.
Oh,
Come on, guys.
Hell no.
No,
Let's
I can't
fucking
do
go.
that.
Hell
Let's
no.
go.
Can't do that.
Never.
Can't do it.
Meet me in the
America.
middle somewhere.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
I said it was pretty damn cool. I think that's meeting in the middle. I wish I was there. I wish I was there to see it.
I
was
You
like,
slow and don't run.
What you say, Brian?
I understand why people like Queen Elizabeth, right? She's like a badass. She fought in World War II. She did all sorts of cool shit in her life. So, like, I understand English people being proud of their monarch being like a fucking worldly woman. What happens when Prince Andrew comes in?
Well, I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad you bring that up because
I wish you wouldn't
have. Well, he's a naughty boy, to put
that
it
piece of
very
shit.
fucking. He's a piece of fucking shit, is what he is.
Yeah.
But today on the news, they're reporting that he's got COVID,
Oh,
so he won't be able
shucks.
to attend the celebrations.
Do you
That
believe that?
is the biggest load of bullshit.
Okay.
And so convenient because there's private discussions going on in the palace. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, no. I'm sorry, Philip, but you can't be here. No, absolutely not. No. Because you can't. When you get busted as being a pedophile, it's not a good look.
No.
I bet you.
So
he's
did they just
hopping in
skip
the
him?
private jet going to fuck island right now.
Yeah. Well,
So what happens? How's that work with the royal family? Do they just skip him? Can they just decide like, nah, bitch, you're out?
no. Well, I mean, they fucked him off for this. I don't know how it's going to work, but he's not in line to be the king anyway. So next is Prince Charles. Prince Charles is the guy.
sorry.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
But anyway, I don't know a lot about the royal family. I don't. But I saw that today and I was filled with a sense of pride. All right, guys, do you run a business? Do you want to take it to the next level? Do you want to access the billions of people all around the world at the click of a button and see your sales and your business boom, skyrocket, go through the ceiling? Well, let me tell you about Shopify, because Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big businesses alone. So upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility. Listen, I love how Shopify has the tools and the resources that make it easy for any business to succeed, from down the street to around the globe, like I said before. Reach customers online and across social networks with an ever-growing suite of channel integrations and apps like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, you name it, they've got it. Gain insights as you grow with detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond. More than a store, Shopify grows with you. And it is very, very technical, judging by all that stuff. Supercharge your knowledge, your sales, your success, and your bank account. Discover endless possibilities. Shopify is tirelessly reinventing the tools of growth for millions of businesses, helping them succeed every single day. Okay, take advantage of this if you've got a business. Go to shopify.com/believe, all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/believe right now. One more time, shopify.com/believe. But anyway, Harrington, and we know this is always
Look at Harrington's
dubious.
fancy ass setup.
I
Mhm.
know.
Look at him. He looks all professional.
He looks
Yeah.
pink.
Pink as shit, but definitely professional.
Very pink. Harrington, what's on your mind?
Not too much. A couple of fun stories this week. Speaking of,
You better be careful with that phone because we can see your text messages and stuff. You don't want anything creepy coming through.
Oh,
Yeah.
quickly, just on that one, right? Because I always have my phone when I'm commentating, and I
Mhm.
always have it on the desk. And then sometimes they do what's called a working man, where like me, Cruz, and Annika, whatever, we sit there, and I always go, turn the phone upside down. Because could you imagine some fucking text message comes in? You know,
Yeah,
and
your
it's-
wife's bitching at you or something.
Yeah,
The
and
whole world
it's
knows about it.
broadcast around the world. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
Harrington.
well, speaking of people with some inappropriate relationships, there was a pastor who went up to apologize to his congregation. He said, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't been that honest with you. I need to tell you I was unfaithful to my wife one time many years ago, like with one person. And, that's all behind me now, but I wanted to come clean, right? And everybody stands up and
Pardon
cheers.
the pun.
Yeah. Stands up and cheers and applauds, talks about, what a good guy is for coming clean. Then a woman with her husband, approached the podium and explained to the congregation that she was in fact the girl, and she was 16 at the time of the relationship.
Oh no!
He no longer has a job.
Yeah, well,
what did he think was going to happen if she was there?
He was going.
Thought she was going to sit back there and not say
cleanly.
anything.
Could I just pick a bone here? And again, ladies and gentlemen, the passionate believers, and we love you all. We love you all. And you all say that I pick on Harrington. I don't pick on Harrington. I'm very, very nice. But before we started this podcast, before we started this episode, Anthony and I expressed great interest in discussing the worldwide phenomenon, which is the Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp trial. Okay. He's been glued to it with his wife. I've been glued to it with my wife. What I wanted to do, because I'm a good teammate, was throw it to Harrington, give him a bit of airtime, let him speak, and set us up on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But he goes right off a tangent and wants to talk about a rapist priest.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, bad instincts on your part, Mike. You knew what you were getting into when you came to me.
Fair enough. But talking about that priest, what do you think, Anthony?
I guess it doesn't make any. What did he think was going to happen? Especially if he has to know that she's still in the congregation. Like he's going to come clean, and just release all of his demons, but like forget to tell the fact that she was 16 years old at the time and she wasn't going to say shit while
16.
everyone's clapping for him like he's a good dude.
16, that's the big one. I mean, is it surprising though?
No, not even in the least.
Was he a Catholic priest? So he was he had to abstain his entire life. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster. Surely God made us to procreate. You know what I mean? I don't know the ins and outs of, why.
I'm not much of a religious guy either,
no,
but that seems like a silly idea.
It seems like you're destined to fail on that one, right? You've got testosterone pumping through your body, which God designed, makes you want to fuck. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that.
Makes you want to fuck.
And you got these young, floozy women, little skirts. Oh, she's fucking 16 though, so edit that bit out. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's very backwards. Very backwards.
It is.
But still.
It's fucking weird.
We don't want to offend everyone. Thank you, Harrington, for that one. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. What do you think of that, though? Because
fucking Johnny Depp, a unanimous decision.
Amber Heard, yeah, she got 10-7'd.
For sure.
Do you think it was the right call?
I think so. I think they're both fucking toxic, crazy people. But I do feel like Johnny Depp got the shit end of that deal for 6 years. And it's not like he hid anything either. I don't know Johnny Depp, obviously, but
get out of town.
I was proud of him while he was telling all these secrets of his. Like he knows he's telling it to the whole world. He's talking about the drug abuse and all the alcohol and the pills, and like he just kind of laid it all out there. That had to be fucking impossible to do. But while doing that, it kind of left him in a position like the movie 8 Mile, when at the end he just raps about himself and throws all his dirt out there, and then like kind of like, all right, now what do you have to say? And then it left all her bullshit out there too. So like I think for the last 6 years or whatever, it's just been fuck Johnny Depp and all of his dirt and how terrible of a person he is, and Amber Heard kind of took the high road. So at least if he's going to run himself through the mud, he kind of just took her with him, and I think that's a win in my book.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that was his goal the entire time. I don't think Johnny Depp's actually trying to get money out of her. He said, I just want to clear my name. And to your point, he lost that lawsuit in London and his career went to shit. He was dropped from all kinds of stuff, and people obviously thought the worst of him, because the things that she was accusing him of were terrible crimes, beating her up, domestic violence, raping her with a whiskey bottle, I think it was.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, and here's what I'm seeing a lot of people celebrating, and rightly so, and a lot of female activists are coming out and they're talking shit, that's saying, it's another example of the patriarchy, that men get their own way. No, I think it's the opposite. I think that, and I think they touched on this in the trial, that she thought, given this era that we live in, this Me Too movement, that she can just be a girl, say whatever she wants, it gets believed, and he gets shit on from a great height. So he went there to a trial. He exposed himself. There was a lot of stuff there that I'm sure he's not proud of. He doesn't want to get shared, but he had to clear his name. And when it came back and they read the trial, and she did not help herself, by the way. Every time she's talking, she's looking at the jury. She's batting her eyelids.
She's had a lot of acting classes.
Oh my God.
I felt like I was watching a performance.
Yeah.
And again,
100%.
I'm not condoning, and I see the tweets and the social media stuff. Like, I'm not condoning anything that has anything to do with domestic abuse or violence or assault or sexual, none of that stuff. I just don't think it's fair that she can just say whatever the hell she wants and there's no proof behind it. She gets to write it in some op-ed in the New York Post or the Washington Times or wherever it was. And then Johnny Depp just has to kind of sit there and eat it. Like, you can't reach enough people to deny that. But now he just goes through this huge trial. The entire world watched it. Like, I think I went into that very down the middle, not knowing what was going to happen or what was going to be said. And I just found myself leaning towards Johnny Depp because he seemed like he was the most honest. And, like, just I don't know, listening to the videos, like, that doesn't sound like a woman that is afraid of him at all. Like, the taunting him and that stupid fake laugh and making fun of him when he was all fucked up. Like, that's not a woman who's afraid of that guy.
No.
At all.
Do you know what I liked, though? The mega pint. the fucking mega pint.
She had the dumbest lawyers too.
Oh, God, her
objecting
legal
to his
team
own question
was so bad. But then, she's filming him that one time and he pours a massive glass of wine. And understand, he was just so good. They were like, "Oh, don't you think that was a large glass?" He's like, "Yes, but I felt it was necessary." And I don't know why Johnny Depp speaks in a half English accent these days either. But I gotta say, I just thought the way he handled himself was
too much
funny.
It's too much hallucinogenics with Hunter S. Thompson. That'll turn you into like some weird literary character.
So let me ask you this, though, seeing as you're on the screen, Brian Harrington Anthony. Do you think Johnny Depp sees a penny of that money? Because my answer, I don't think she's going to pay a dime.
No, but I do think he gets a ton of work now.
Oh, and on the flip side, I don't think who's going to hire her now?
She is shot.
Have you seen the meme going around of Amber Heard's net worth now? It's like negative $8 million or something. There's a lot of really good ones. Like,
listen, I'm not laughing at some people's misfortune, but what she did there, she took a risk. She tried to ruin somebody's career because, I don't know, from what Johnny Depp says, she was so obsessed with fame and money and celebrity status and things like that. And, it's all come down and bit her in the ass. And
that's how the world goes around sometimes. What comes around.
What goes around comes around. And there it is. That is the recap of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial that you've all been waiting for. I just can't wait for
You continue to read them correctly.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yes, that's correct. Yes, that is correct. You continue to read them correctly. Yeah, the way he handled himself, and he was always sketching, wasn't he? Always just sitting there like so nonchalant, never looked up, never like reacted, never like pulled a funny face, and just like now and again you'd see him smirk to himself.
Do you remember when he talked about the box?
Oh yeah,
the lawyer shows him the picture of the box, and he says, "Is this what you kept all your cocaine in?" And he says, "That box certainly looks like it would hold a large amount of cocaine."
And
he goes, "But you did put your cocaine in it." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know if you've ever done cocaine, but in my experience, it comes in bags."
I missed that bit.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
He said, "In my experience, it comes in bags. And if you walk down the street with it in this box, you're going to lose a lot of cocaine."
Oh, I got to see that bit. Because me and Beck, that's like our favorite pastime right now. Lying in bed, watching that trial. I'm devastated. I'm devastated it's over. But I'm very happy for Johnny Depp. Celebrating. He was in Sheffield, England. No, Newcastle, I believe, touring. That's how much he doesn't give a fuck. He just wanted to clear his name. So God bless. Well done to Johnny Depp. But we got the MMA version coming soon. Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal.
We do.
Don't tell me there's not going to be a lot of press watching that one.
Yeah, I hope they allow the cameras in because that would be great to watch too. And we'd have to see the real Colby too.
Oh.
Like he would have to drop the shtick. He just have to be honest, and that's not a good look. Like I disagree with the if it happened the way that they're saying it happened, he came in, cheap shot him, didn't see it coming. I don't necessarily agree with that. But if you talk as much shit as Colby Covington does, you got to expect that someone's going to take a shot at you one of these days.
Well, that's the way it goes.
It's kind of just. That's the way it goes,
I'm not defending Masvidal in any way, shape, or form for what he did, but you got to pay the piper. If there's someone that is temperamental, someone that is, what's the word I'm looking for? He's known for behaving that way. You know, he's talked about it on Hell Warning Show about sucker punching people. He three-piece in a sword of Leon fucking Edwards. Masvidal gets down. You know what I mean? If you talk enough shit, if you poke the bear for long enough, then that bear's going to come back and bite you. But anyway, we're not taking sides. Harrington, come on. There he is. And break down what happened between the potential foe of Luke Rockhold. Paulo Costa, Boachinha, has been in the news this week, allegedly assaulting nurses.
Now it's important you say the allegedly thing, because his team is I don't want to get the Believe Me podcast sued for what I'm about to say here, right? But the story that I read everywhere is that Paulo Costa went in, he wanted a vaccination card to prove that he had been, vaccinated. He did not, in fact, want to take the shot, though. So he went in, tried to grab one of the already filled out vaccine cards and go to leave. A nurse went to, stop him, and he just kind of like flung her off and, proceeded to the exit, with the vaccine card in hand. And they're calling that assault.
Did you have any damage?
I do not know. Did you read anywhere that there was damage?
Yeah, no. I did see that she had like a little bruising to her lips.
Okay. Yeah, just a swollen lip in the altercation.
Yeah,
so to be fair, he probably just pulled his arm away and like a little.
No, sure. He's a
I was gonna say, did she grab a hold of him and he kind of just
like Paulo Costa didn't fucking elbow a little woman in the head and she had a swollen lip.
A swollen lip.
That's
because Paulo Costa is probably 255 pounds right now.
Oh, the guy's massive. He's gigantic. And I don't want this to turn into the male chauvinistic podcast. We take Johnny Depp's side. We ignore the nurse. No, what I'm saying is, and I know nothing about it, and of course we weren't there, but I think we kind of got it, right? Paulo Costa is a big, strong guy. And I don't know, sounded like he didn't want to take the vaccine, correct? But he stole a card. She grabs him. He goes like that, get off me. Maybe reacted a bit too much. And she's not happy with it. I don't think he
which I don't agree with. He shouldn't have done any of those things.
No.
But it's also being reported and like talked about as if he pushed her up against the wall and yoked her with a nasty elbow or something. It just doesn't seem
headlines.
It just doesn't seem like that's the case. It's bad enough as it is. If you're not going to get the vaccine, just don't get the vaccine. Like, don't go and steal cards.
Go on, Harrington.
Well, to be clear, Paulo Costa is saying that he did get the vaccine previously, just not in that visit, but he didn't have the documentation to prove it. So he was just going in there to get said documentation, but he does claim that he has taken the shot and that
so he doesn't want to get double vaccinated.
Yeah,
understandable.
Hey, and I don't want to start getting into all the vaccine stuff, but like in our house, we were all for it. We all got it. Rebecca had the Johnson & Johnson. She also had the Pfizer, and then she got fucking boosted. I've had it. Not against it whatsoever, but they want you to continually keep taking boosters and all the rest of it. How about you go and create a vaccine which fucking works? Because I know all the other vaccines I had when I was a child, I don't have to continually get boosters. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that side of it's kind of annoying me a little bit. You're
coming along.
Well, I'm not coming along, Brian. Get fucked, Mr. fucking... I don't know what you are.
Well, we're going to get shit for this.
Back to Costa.
The people are so sick of Bisping's politics. It's hilarious.
Well, don't get started on all that.
It's not.
I know where you're going with that one.
I say people. By people, I mean like there's 8 people, maybe 7 people that just constantly tweet all the time. They're just like, as long as Bisping's not talking about politics. Like I always think, I feel like we don't ever talk about politics.
I don't talk about politics.
I don't
you
think
can write down what I know about politics. Okay, fuck it. I just don't want to see innocent people getting killed. I don't want to see children going to school and getting fucking murdered. That's all. And I never put any tweets, any political agenda or anything like that. I put up my condolences. I don't put up my thoughts and prayers because you can stick them up your fucking ass. Real people that are crushed, real lives that are destroyed and fucking ruined because there's people running around with access to fucking powerful guns that don't need it. That's all.
And I don't think I've ever heard you say, well, we need to do this or we need to do that. It's always been just sadness that I've seen. I'm a pro-gun guy, super pro-gun. And I've never seen anything that you've said or heard anything you've said and be like, oh, come on, Mike, that's crazy. Never. Like, I don't want to see innocent people dying. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I don't think that makes you one side or the other on like this political stance. And
It's
like
got
by me
nothing-
saying I'm a pro gun guy doesn't
Yeah.
mean I want to keep, you know, like I don't think we should do anything and all these people can just keep on dying. Like I'm fucking not with it. So
Yeah.
um,
No, the thing is,
I just needed to address that because I hate seeing how you're getting like shit for like some political stance that you've never taken, at least that I've ever seen.
There
It's
was
just
there was one yesterday. There was 4 people shot in a
in
hospital.
a hospital. Yeah.
There was one this morning. It's happening all the time. But anyway, I'm not trying to get into all that shit. All I'm talking about is that as a father that chooses to live in this country, and I'm not talking shit about the country, and I don't talk politics. I can't even fucking vote. Do you know what I mean? So it's got nothing to do with a political agenda. I just don't like hearing about innocent people getting murdered. And I have children that live in this country. That is my only fucking concern, that the streets are safe for people to be able to go about and live their life and not be in fear that you're going to get fucking shot, because it happens.
It happens.
It fucking happens, and it shouldn't. That's all. And all right, fuck it. We're going down it. Are
you sure?
If you want to counter, please do. I come from another country. Do you know what I mean? So I've got an outside perspective, that's all. And I just see it in another country. And I get it. This is different. It's built. It's into the culture. It's always been this way. So, and I understand that. And I do. And I accept that, you know. But also at the same time, I have an outside perspective where not everyone has a fucking gun. So for me, it seems a little weird. And I actually welcome a intellectual debate on it.
See, and I'm not sure that I have an intellectual debate on that, because it's the culture that I grew up in.
Yeah.
You know, you could live in a different region of the country and have a similar culture to you, but mine is very pro-gun. Everybody has guns. You know, like kids at 10 years old get deer rifles. You know what I mean? As presents. I give my own child the same thing. So I would welcome any change, like not any change, but I would welcome changes that would help keep guns out of, you know, I hate that stance that people take where like, it's not a gun problem, it's a mental health problem. Like whatever the problem is, it needs fixed. The only issue I have is I don't think anything should be taken from me for something that somebody else does. Like if I want a fucking bazooka, I think I should be allowed to have one as long as I'm not doing anything illegal with it.
You should not be able to have a bazooka. There's absolutely no need for you to have a fucking bazooka. You are obviously
it's like a Ferrari. Nobody needs a fucking Ferrari. You don't need to go 200 miles an hour.
Nobody looks cool as fuck.
Right. So are bazookas.
Yeah, but a Ferrari is designed to look good and go fast and just be.
Ferraris might kill more people than
cars. A bazooka is literally designed to blow fucking buildings up. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not going to come to this country and say you're going to get rid of your guns. That's not what I'm saying. What I am suggesting is that it's just wild how you can't buy a beer, but you can go buy a fucking gun. That just seems a little off to me. Seems a little weird. But I don't know why they don't change that and do some mental health background checks. You know?
I don't disagree with any of that stuff. Like now that I'm old enough, like I think I said this 2 weeks ago. Now that I'm old enough, I don't think people should be able to drive till they're like 18 or 19, because I'm terrified half the time driving on the road with these 16-year-old idiots. Like 16 years old, these people can drive. This is fucking crazy. Like, because dude, if you meet a 16-year-old, like that person is in control of a vehicle, like maybe we need to push that up. And like, you know, now the cigarette age is pushed back to 21 and like the vaping age, like all that stuff's pushed back to 21. I think the kids should be able to hunt, but like as far as having access to their own firearms, I think that needs to be pushed back for sure.
Yeah. Well, my daughter's actually taking my car to go to the mall right now. So I'm with you because we are terrified. And she hated us as she was leaving, getting in the car. Me and Rebecca were like, drive safe, make sure you get your belt on, do this, do that. And when we walked in, Rebecca was like, she hates us right now, but it's terrifying. It is terrifying. And you see what I did there? Skewed the conversation away.
I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of the world, Father's Day is just around the corner, and our friends at Manscaped are here to ensure that father figures are set for the summer. Treat him and yourself and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. Get 20% off, great deal, and free shipping, better deal, with the code BISPING20 when you go to manscaped.com. Trust me, your old man and your personal old man are going to love this. Why? Well, Manscaped is designed with fathers in mind, and the Performance Package 4.0 is here just in time for Father's Day. Listen, you know the deal with Manscaped by now. You trim your balls without hurting yourself. It's quick, it's easy, it's painless, it's discreet, It's got a great battery. It's quiet. Take it in the shower. It's the best goddamn Manscaped. But guess what? It doesn't stop there, because in this package you will get, as I say, the Lawnmower 4.0. You get the Weed Whacker for those ear and nose hairs. Okay, you get the Crop Preserver, the Bold Deodorant, the Crop Reviver Toner, and the Performance Boxer Briefs. And you even get a travel bag to hold it all in. The 4th generation trimmer, as I said, it features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is also waterproof. I said all this. And it also has a 400K LED spotlight, which means even more closer, preciser shaves. Listen, dads, sons, men, women, in fact, do yourself a favor. Buy this for you, buy it for your dad, and ladies, buy this for all the men in your life, because God knows they need it, right? And it's awesome. All jokes aside, all sales pitch aside, the Manscaped, in fact, all of their products are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, look at this head of hair that I have. I use the Manscaped 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. It's the best on the market. And I mean that. Go to manscaped.com. The code is Bisping20. You're welcome. All right, Harrington. Give us an MMA topic. Make it a fucking good one. Please, we're going to rescue this episode, which I think is great, but I might have annoyed a lot of people there. But if you did,
just 7 of them.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, how about this one? Paddy the Fatty, no more. Paddy's back in camp, and he's looking good ahead of his July debut.
I mean, he's still way off 55. He looks good, though. He looks good. He doesn't look like he's like ripped to death like a lot of people, but he looks better than me. That's for goddamn sure.
I'd kill to look like that.
I hear the criticism on Paddy, and I probably echo it a little bit, but not because I'm trying to shame him or make fun of him or be a dick. Like, that up and down yo-yo thing, you can only do that so long. And he's really good. So he's going to start having problems as he gets older. His metabolism's going to slow down a little bit. I'm a firm believer, you only have so many weight cuts like that in you.
Yep.
So it's just the damage that he's doing. I think that he would be a better athlete and a better fighter if he was able to just keep his weight down. Now, I understand it's hard to diet year round. I totally get that. But I guess I'd just like to know why he does blow up and gain so much weight in between fights. Is it a diet thing? If it's just he has to be super strict eating rice and boiled chicken to stay at 55, then maybe you need to consider going up.
But that's not what he's eating. He's eating McDonald's, pizzas, Burger King, ice cream, anything he can get his fucking hands on.
So you can have a pretty good quality of life, have some beers and still eat. Like, I don't eat a shit ton of fast food. I don't eat a shit ton of pizza and like just nasty food. I eat a lot of steak, and you know what I mean? Like, I have a really good quality of life, but I eat fairly healthy. It's just not really small proportions like it used to have to be.
Yeah, I did a video on it this morning on my YouTube channel because a lot of people are talking about it right now. And I have the same perspective as you. And certainly, and I'm saying it from experience because I'm retired now. And one of the biggest regrets in my career, and I've said it many times, is that I was guilty of that. I put on weight in between fights. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I wish I didn't, because I say it all the time. The training camp becomes more of a fat camp. The training camp becomes about making the weight as opposed to winning the fight. So it's not a criticism. He's a young man, right? He's new to it all. He's very famous all of a sudden, almost overnight. He's got money in his account. Of course, he should be enjoying life. Of course, you got to enjoy the moment. What's the point in all this and working so fucking hard if you can't enjoy yourself a little bit? But only because of my own experiences and looking back and being full of regret about it, I was like, maybe he needs to change things up. And listen, as Harrington said there, he doesn't look bad. That's because a lot of the time when you're eating shitty food, when you're having a few beers and all the rest of it, you temporarily hang on to a lot of water. A lot of the time, there's some fat there, but a lot of it's just bloat. Like, for example, I'm on a major diet right now, Anthony. I got on the scale. I could send you the fucking video. I did it just for when I'm ripped, I can do like a side by side. I got on the scale yesterday morning, heaviest I've ever been in my life. 236 pounds, right? And it wasn't my belly was out here. I was just all bloated because, as I said, Memorial Day, I had a few drinks. Yesterday, I was hungover and I thought, fuck it. I'm having whatever I want. I had cheese on toast. I had a sandwich with fries at this cafe. I got 5 guys for dinner with fries and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? And I got on the scale. I was like, shit.
You went hard.
I went hard. And my stomach was hard and my shit was soft, right? And I got on the scale. I was 236. Guess what I am this morning? After 1 day of discipline.
How much?
222.
Yeah.
14 pounds in a day.
Of just fluid that you're not holding on to.
It's just bullshit. So I drank, I've still got, here's my second one. The old distilled water, you know, drink the distilled water, cut out all the carbs. For anyone trying to lose weight quick, for every gram of carb that you eat, your body holds on to 4 grams of water. So if you eat, 100 grams, that's actually 500 grams in weight that you're holding on to. Yeah. So anyway, Paddy, July 23rd, I'll see you there, buddy. Good luck with training camp. He's fighting Jordan Levitt. Do you know Jordan Levitt?
I do know Jordan Levitt. I think that's a pretty good jump in competition for Paddy too. I think the one criticism I think you see online, I think the guys he's fought have been pretty tough. Especially that Brazilian cat Luigi, trained here at Factor X for a while. Really, really tough guy. I've watched him train a lot. So I thought that was a really good win. He just doesn't have the name. I think Jordan Levitt's got a little bit of a name. He's got some good wins under his belt as well. And I think he creates a different problem for Paddy because Paddy is, I think so far he's had the grappling advantage going into all of his fights. And, he's a little bit wild and crazy on his feet and kind of fearless, which gives him an advantage in some of those spots. But I think Jordan Levitt has the ground, I think he's got the grappling advantage in that fight. So I think that we're going to see Paddy have to kind of check down to some more tools that he has.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I think he's got the grappling advantage. I mean, we're allowed to have a difference of opinion. I mean, he's good. Jordan Levitt is primarily just a grappler. For anyone that doesn't know, he's not, he's not the most well-known fighter. 10-1. His big win came over Matt Wyman. Matt Wyman was they clinched up. Jordan Levitt jumped up guard in his midsection. And it was really cool and creative what Jordan Levitt did. So if you imagine he's got his arms wrapped around Jordan Levitt, Matt Wyman's right. Jordan Levitt, hold on. Matt Wyman pulled guard on him, but standing facing him. Jordan Levitt put his forearm over his face and then slammed him down, knocked him unconscious. It was awesome. Since then, and then he lost one, but then he's won his last 2. So it'll be an interesting matchup. If it goes to the ground. I think on the feet, I think Paddy has a big advantage, if I'm honest.
Power advantage for sure. Definitely power advantage for sure. And then I think they're just different types of grapplers. I think sometimes Paddy gets a little bit careless with where he puts his hands. I think it's an age and experience thing. He isn't as patient sometimes as I think he needs to be. I think he definitely rushes through some stuff. And I think Jordan Levitt is one of those, I don't know. He's one of those opportunistic grapplers where I don't see him setting up a lot of things and working through a system, but he'll grab a hold of something. And plus he'll do the splits.
I was just going to say, do you know what he's really good at? Do you know where he does the splits? He does the Titanic, and he's also a good little twerker. Brian, see if you can find a video.
He's got a hell of a twerk for sure.
Paddy Pimblett better hope that he wins because, look, here we go. Hold on. Well, there's the splits. And that's impressive. Hold on, get ready. Oh, dear.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, listen, could you imagine? So Paddy's a big star now. I'm telling you. Back in March, he rocked that entire arena. Post-fight speech, he had everyone singing the entire place. He had a great performance. He comes back for this one. Oh, the crowd's dying to see him. Could you imagine Jordan Levitt beats him and then twerks over him, unconscious or whatever? You know what it's like? That's a tough one to live up to come back.
You're gonna be ducking bottles if that happens.
Oh God, Jordan, don't twerk in London, bro. If you beat Paddy, don't twerk it up. Harrington, what else have you got, buddy?
Just taking notes because "Don't Twerk in London" is now the front runner for the episode title.
Yes, for
That's
sure.
actually pretty funny.
All right. Well, this is kind of interesting. Jorge Masvidal threw out some pretty serious allegations at one Connor McGregor. Here's the quote. "He's false, and he knows that I'm a man who hits hard and that I come to kill. I don't come to play hug in the cage. I'm going to give everything inside. I'm going to give everything inside me to kill him, and I have a little size. Although now he's injecting steroids and all kinds of things, but he is still a little boy." McGregor saw this and responded, "Absolute pigeon brain. Guy is stupid beyond belief." Masvidal once again responded, this pea brain is the biggest fight of your life, so you're either too scared or too stupid to get this check. What do you guys think about this Twitter beef?
Anthony?
I'd love to see the fight. Like their bullshit Twitter stuff back and forth is just it's just a bunch of talk. I hate when there's the allegations with no foundation behind it, especially for a guy that's going through a court case with a bunch of allegations that he's saying aren't true. So it's like, I don't know. I don't even want to comment on that part of it. I do wonder though, and I'm going to get fucking shit on for this, but
please go ahead. I'm very curious.
How do they test Connor McGregor floating on a boat around the world all the time?
Very simply, they don't. There's that because he's got a Lamborghini yacht as well. You see USADA coming, you ain't catching that motherfucker.
Wow, fucking out.
I mean, listen, you're talking about Ferraris. He's got a Lamborghini, baby.
I've wondered that when I see him on this boat all the time. He's like, every time you see a picture or a video, and I get it, he probably's not posting real time exactly where he is at that time, but seemingly he's on a boat most of the time.
And so he's in Monaco. I don't know if
USADA sending people in a fucking helicopter to fucking drop it on Connor's boat.
Brian,
look at this boat.
Yeah. No, it's fucking sick, to be fair. It's ridiculous. I mean, that's a real toy. I don't think USADA are testing him. Listen, we talked about this before. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's taking steroids. Masvidal said that, and a couple of other people have said that, and maybe he's taking some kind of substance, maybe, to encourage the healing of the leg. Perhaps. Yeah. Maybe that's why he's put some size on, because he's put some size on. But I'm not saying he's taking steroids. Maybe he's taking some kind of, I don't know what it might be, something to help the bones and the rod, the titanium shin bone, to help it all fuse together and heal stronger,
Yeah. Who knows? Like, I hate, like, because then you just kind of peg people with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And is there people that are doing it? Absolutely. Is Connor? I don't know. Could he be? Yeah, for sure. He could be. Could he not be? Maybe it's just hard work and he's eating his vitamins. I don't know.
Maybe he's just lifting like a motherfucker, like I am.
Well, he's got a pretty good photographer too, because every once in a while a picture will come out.
It's the lighting.
It's the lighting and
if you know Kung Lee, it's the lighting.
Remember that story? His excuse. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Brian, you won't be able to find it. Just Google Kung Lee, it's the lighting, Macau versus Bisping or something, because he turned up. Oh, Kung Lee was ripped.
And he failed, right?
He failed. He tested positive, yeah. But I remember.
Don't you feel like you should get some of his money?
Oh, well, I should have done, yeah. I never thought of that. Jesus Christ, let's start a petition. I remember, though, this is how you know, and we kind of suspected that maybe he was juicing, and not talking shit about Kung Lee. It's all water under the bridge. It's just an anecdote. We were walking down to the lobby. We're in the Four Seasons in Hong Kong, beautiful hotel. And we're waiting in the lobby to go over to like the press conference. And Kung Lee was there, and he had the shirt on. His fucking biceps are popping. He's got veins popping out all over the place. And Jason Perillo knows him. So Perillo went over and was like, whoa, Jesus Christ, look at you, Kung. Looking good, buddy. Wow. And he instantly started making excuses for himself. Oh, yeah, because Jason said, and I saw that picture you put on Instagram. Wow. And he's like, yeah, it was just the lighting. And when you've had a workout, Jason, and you get a pump on and stuff. And Jason came back and we were like, why is he making excuses for how ripped he looks?
Right. No one makes excuses for being ripped and in shape from hard work.
No, you make excuses.
That was me. I was like, yeah, I look good as fuck. Look at me.
So I have the quote. That was my real picture, Lee said of the image in question. I just got off the scale from a hard-ass workout. I lost 6.5 pounds, and literally, I just came off the scale. It was just a moment like, all right, I'm so light. I gave it a flex, and someone caught it in the perfect lighting. If I look like that all the time, I would be happy, but I don't. It was just because of that moment. Everyone, they can talk all they want, but do they look like that? No.
Yeah, well, as I say, I don't want to shit on him. It was almost 10 years ago now. Jesus Christ. But what was I going to say? I remember, because Kung Lee, if you recall, always used to be a little chubby, a little soft.
Yeah.
And then one of my buddies was like, seems weird that his genetics kick in his early 40s. Weird. Anyway, Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal saying it's the biggest fight of McGregor's career, the biggest fight that he could have right now on the UFC roster. What do you say to that, Anthony Smith?
No, I don't think so. I don't. Is it a big one? For sure. It's very interesting. I think that's I think it's a good fight for both guys because neither one of those guys need to be fighting or want to be fighting any guys that are going to be shooting takedowns and playing that game. They both want to fight another striker. I still think Nate Diaz is probably the biggest fight for Conor as far as the box office. I think Masvidal is probably a tougher fight for sure for Conor. But they're all blown up 55ers at the end of the day. So I don't see any issue with all three of those guys kind of figuring out how to mix it up. But I like the Masvidal one because it's a new matchup.
The biggest fights, I think without a shadow of a doubt, as you said, the Diaz fight, the trilogy, the rubber match, that's the biggest fight available for McGregor and probably one of the biggest fights they can make in the UFC, bar none. Do you know what I mean? It really is. But Diaz,
if I'm Conor, that's the one I'm chasing. That's the easiest.
Oh.
If I'm Conor, that's what I'm chasing. It's the easiest fight that you can get for the most money.
I don't know, but see, like another big fight for Conor would be Charles Oliveira, right? And star power matters.
That's not an easy fight, though.
It's not an easy fight.
That's what I mean. Nate Diaz is the least danger for the most money.
Yeah, you're right, because Charles definitely has more knockout power, but Charles gets hit. I've said this a million times. He gets dropped in every single fight. And that's why he's so fucking exciting, but he gets dropped. Could you imagine the Conor McGregor fanboys would be out of control if fucking Conor came back from snapping his leg, from losing 3 out of his last 4, not being near the octagon for God knows how long, then comes back and knocks out the most exciting. I'll probably kill myself. I just couldn't deal with it. I'm like,
we wouldn't be able to do a show for 2 weeks. We just have to just not do it because we couldn't be able to talk about it.
It could happen.
It could.
It could fucking happen.
It could.
Kamaru Usman, that would be a big fight.
Yeah, for sure. That's a huge fight.
Don't think that would happen, though.
No, I don't think
They
so.
ain't going to do that.
No. That'd be bad news for Conor.
Dana never wanted to do the Masvidal versus Conor fight. Remember back in the day? I think 2019.
Yeah, he thought that Masvidal was too big.
Too big, yeah. And I broke this down yesterday. I was looking at it. Connor's 5'9", Masvidal's 5'11". They both got 74-inch reaches. They both fight at 170. They both fight at 155. Sure, Connor's been at 145 as well. So naturally, probably a little bit of a smaller guy. But right now, as you say, at 170, they're both blown up 55ers. You know, so in terms of size, and certainly when you look at Conor now, he has put some size on. I don't think that would be an issue to stop this fight from taking place.
I don't think so either. And I don't think once they were on the scale and in front of each other, I don't think that, because Masvidal's got to come down to 70. Conor's probably got to come down to 70. I think once they both get down there and they're in shape, I think that you lose a lot. I think the aesthetics of looking at Masvidal outside of training camp, you know, outside of getting ready for a fight, and then looking at Conor when he's about to, because that's what happens. It's when Conor just fights. So he's ripped and he's real lean and he's shredded. And then you got Masvidal, who's a little bit blown up, a little bit heavier. And then, you know, you look at those two and like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. You take them both and you shrink them both down to 170. They're both in fight shape. They're both peaking. They're both lean and in shape like that. I don't think there's that big of a difference.
No. And then certainly when you look at where they're currently at in their careers, and I mean this respectfully, I'm not talking shit in the slightest. They were both, you know, I mean, Masvidal's never been a champion, but they're two of the biggest stars, McGregor by far. If you look at Masvidal, lost 3 in a row now. Again, no shame, twice to Kamaru, pound for pound number 1. Once to Colby Covington, that was a bad loss. He said he needs to address his wrestling and all the rest of it. Look at Conor, lost 3 out of his last 4. Do you know what I mean? So it's like...
Needs to address the wrestling.
Pardon me?
And Conor needs to address the wrestling. That's a perfect fight for them to keep... They can keep building that skill set and working on their holes and still fight each other and not really have to worry about it.
For a fan-friendly matchup as well, for two of the biggest stars in the sport. I mean, come on. I mean, that would be an amazing, because listen, you know, Conor's exciting. He's exciting. And Masvidal brings it every single fucking time when he's not being dry humped and pinned on the floor. Do you know what I mean? The guy's fun to watch. So, yeah, that would be an amazing fight. Really would. Excuse me, burping a little bit there. All right, Harrington. Break it up with a bit of non-MMA. Where's this gonna go? Round and round. It's like a fucking playing roulette with my mind. What have you got? What have you got?
Okay. So we moved on.
Okay.
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 Did you guys see this? Somebody went and attacked the Mona Lisa.
Oh, I did see that.
Oh, yeah. No, I did.
I was disappointed to hear that the Mona Lisa had a glass cover over the front of it. It takes away all
It's
the
the most expensive piece of art in the world. It's going to be protected, Anthony.
The pastry on it as the only thing that's ever made me want to go see the Mona Lisa.
I've seen the Mona Lisa.
Oh, God.
It's, you know what? That
Is it
picture
cool?
is very deceiving. I went to the Louvre in Paris years ago with my wife. When you get there, you think, because like you walk through the Louvre and it's, you know, it's a beautiful museum and the artwork's incredible. You know, what do I know about art? Fuck all. But I do appreciate it. I don't know anything about it, but I'm like, this is amazing. It's incredible. But, you know, you like the piece de resistance, the highlight. It's got to be the Mona Lisa. Ooh, that one's huge. That one's amazing. Mona Lisa, it's about this big.
Is that
It's
it?
tiny. It's fucking tiny. And there's like, but you can't get near it because there's crowds of people and they're all taking pictures and whatnot. That's why it's behind the glass. Well, I'm sure for one of many reasons, to protect it from the flashes and stuff like that. And then obviously stop people touching it and whatnot. But yeah, it's very, very small. Harrington, why did this person smear cake all over it?
So what this person did was they dressed up as like a little old lady, and like in the wheelchair with like the shawl on the bum because they like get closer to seem like, you know, like, oh, I got bad eyes, I want to get, and then threw the cake at it. No official word out, but the initial reports are that it was to raise awareness for climate change. So this is an activist who's doing his part.
Well, of course you would throw a cake at the Mona Lisa for climate change. That makes I totally get that.
Anthony, I feel stupid for asking that question. I should have known. You know, what I mean? You throw a cake at the Mona Lisa.
You asked, and I was like, well, I already knew. I figured that's what it probably was, but
it automatically correlates with climate change. Of course it does.
Of course it does.
I mean, to be fair, we are talking about it on the #1 MMA comedy podcast on the goddamn planet. You know, mission accomplished, Mona Lisa abuser.
Do you
like a bit of fine arts, Anthony?
No, come on.
Do you like antiques?
Yeah, it's certain things.
Yeah,
like
we love antiques in our house. Our house is like, it's all, well, it's not as, I'm making it sound fucking great. I was going to say it's all old and antiques and stuff. It's a lot of shit, a lot of tat that no one wants anymore. But still, my wife buys it. And the more fucked up it is, the better. You know what I mean? Like, she likes to buy antique mirrors. I'm like, but it's all fucked. The mirror bit, it's all like, what's the word?
Like the mirror's rubbing off and
yeah, it's all like
chipping.
black, and she's like, but that's good. That gives it character. I'm like, that means it needs throwing in the fucking bin. You know what I mean? The trash, as you guys say.
Trash.
Yeah, no, but we do love a bit of antique shopping. You know, we do like to get stuff with a nice little story.
I like really old. I mean, obviously, I like cars, but not like the ones that have been like restored to new. Like at my uncle's farm, he has like a bunch of antique cars that are like 1930s Fords and 1920s cool. Chevys that like they're just completely rusted out, but they're exactly how they were when they were parked like in the 70s, you know, like just like shit like that. I like little like antique tools and gadgets and stuff. I think that stuff's cool.
Yeah, no. The antique or the classic cars, they are very, very cool. Like, you know, if you've got a ton of money, any douchebag can go out there. Of course, I got to say you're a douchebag because I haven't got one. But any douchebag, or you know what I mean? Anyone with cash can go out and buy a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Bentley, whatever it is. You just need the money. When I see somebody driving like a classic old school car that's been looked after, that's, you know, and of course, again, you could probably just buy one, but still generally you will find that that person's a car enthusiast, knows all about the history. They work on it on a Sunday afternoon and stuff like that. And they take it out every now and again. When I see those cars, I'm like, yeah, that's fucking cool.
I like, I used to have this, I don't know if you would consider, well, yeah, you probably would consider it an antique. I was helping a friend of our family's move some stuff out of her sister's place. She had passed away, and I got one of those like the antique fridges. Oh yeah, I used it in my garage as like a beer fridge forever.
Smeg.
It was Smeg?
Well, that's a type of fridge, isn't it? A Smeg.
Oh, I don't remember the brand, but it was like a really popular brand, like in the.
Smeg means something way different in America, Mike.
What does it mean?
You're gonna have to Google that.
Just Google Smeg fridges.
Smeg fridges. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, it was a really old fridge.
Google Smeg fridges. They're like antique fridges. No,
I'm
you don't have to do it, Anthony. We have a producer that does it.
I know. I just want to see
But
what
it won't come on the screen.
I don't know what the American version
Smeg.
of. That, yeah, it kind of looked like that, but it wasn't a Smeg.
Yeah, well, that's a
Just
brand
an
new
old
one.
antique fridge.
Yeah,
What does Smeg mean in America?
I know what it means.
Oh,
Brian, tell him. Tell him what it means.
well, Google it and pull it up.
I know. Do you know how I know what it means? Because we used to have this beautiful young lady called Megan that lives with us. And I didn't know this, but as a pet name, I used to call her Smegma. Do you know what I mean?
Nope.
I had no idea what it meant. And then I was told, apparently, what does it mean? Oh, because my dog,
It's
Alfie.
dick cheese.
It's dick cheese. Yeah, it's
Dick cheese.
It's pre-cum.
Oh,
Ejaculate.
okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
apparently. And this
Okay.
is how I found out because
All right.
Alfie used to leak out of his penis before he died. There he is in the background. One of the believers painted that picture of him.
Oh,
Isn't that
that's
sweet? And he would leak all over the floor. So Rebecca, God bless her, was always going around having to scrape it because when it would dry, you couldn't just wipe it. She would always have to like scrape the smegma
The
off the
Smeg.
thing.
The Smegma.
Not
Magma.
Not the name of today's episode. Definitely not. Oh my
It
God.
needs to be.
No, you don't want
With
to
you
go
on your hands and
scrape
knees
the
scraping
Smeg?
it off of the floor.
Oh God. Oh geez Louise. All right, guys, if you mess around with a car, if you're tinkering with an engine, if you know your crankshaft from an exhaust, you need to go to Rock Auto. Why? Well, because they've been in business for over 20 years, selling all the parts that you could possibly need, and more importantly, at the best possible prices. That is why rockauto.com has been in business for over 20 years. No more talking to a storefront guy that's going to sell you crap you don't need and then going to charge you through the roof for it because they're going to have to storefront markups. No, rockauto.com takes the middleman out of it, makes the process very, very simple. You don't even need to leave your house. You don't need to drive in there and talk to some weirdo, some guy, big fat guy, I'm assuming, greasy guy, smells, bad BO, worse than Harrington. You don't have to speak to him. You don't have to get sold shit you don't need. And you don't have to spend more money than is required because you can do it from your home. You can do it from your computer, your laptop. You know the deal. Smart devices can go online. All you got to do is go to rockauto.com, right? And by the way, no promo code needed because everything's so goddamn cheap already. If you know your way around a car, if you want to learn how to use a car, if you want to, I'm talking about the engines, not how to drive one. If you don't know how to drive, I suggest you take lessons. Okay. You can't do that at rockauto.com. The only thing you can get is every single car part that you've ever required at the best possible prices. That's why they've been in business over 20 years. rockauto.com. What were we talking about? What got us onto this bloody nonsense?
I don't know. How did we start talking about
The
What
Smeg
was it?
fridges.
Yeah.
Smeg
And then
fridges?
I derailed you guys.
Yeah, bring us back. Bring us back. Where's Harrington? There's a sentence I never thought I'd say. What got us onto this?
The guy.
Last I knew, we were talking about Masvidal and Connor McGregor.
You just blacked out the last 40 minutes.
Antiques.
No, the guy who threw the paint. The cake at Mona
Oh,
Lisa.
of course. Well done, Harrington. And listen, that brought a lot of. Are you a climate change denier as well, Anthony?
No, I'm not.
Thank God.
No, I don't know. I don't know shit about climate change, so I don't know enough about it
Yeah.
for it to be a denier or a believer. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
I'm not going to be along long enough for it to fucking matter.
No, that's true. And I don't think any of us are. Well, at some point, we're all going to fucking die. I don't think we've
Right.
got too long left on this planet. I think we're at the peak of human civilization. You know,
Yeah,
it's
so
not going to get
fuck it.
much better than this. You know,
Yeah, so fuck it.
Fuck
You only
it,
go
let's
so
have a
high.
Bang.
Well,
Meg, get me
not a
some
literal
fucking
bang.
aerosols. Go get me a can of deodorant that's got CFC gases
I'm
in
gonna
it.
put so much fucking cologne on today.
Oh, what, babe? Bring nothing. She's like, what do you want? All right, Harrington, give us an MMA
UIM
topic for the
does
love of
whip it.
God. Let's just try and get this back on
Whip
track.
it. You ever done a
Whip
whip
it.
it, Mike?
What's a whip it? I mean, I know it's a dog.
Yes.
No,
No.
it's not.
It-
another
it is
American
out
thing.
here. Whip it. Bring
Well,
up
back
a
in
whip
the
it.
back in the day when we were really young, in the top of a whipped cream can is like, I don't know what it is. Brian, do you know what it is in the top of the can?
Babe, bring that chunjun.
I think it's just CO2, right?
It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But anyways, you could push the whipped cream thing before the whipped cream will start to come out. It'll push whatever that air is. And then you inhale that gas or whatever it is. And
I was going to say, you're inhaling, you're breathing in gas.
And then we stopped doing those. And like back in the day, you could do the air dusters. And you would huff air duster. That's probably why I'm so fucking stupid. But we do so much air duster, you just pass out where you were at. And then they started putting like a bad flavor taste in it, and people stopped doing that.
Yeah, I know a friend of mine. I remember we were at the castle in Clitheroe one night, and he was doing that to light a gas. And it was like, and he was not in a good place, and he was not looking like I wanted to enjoy it and join him in this experience that he was going through, because he was out of his mind. Let me tell you,
a bunch of people would do the air duster thing forever. But what is that?
This is, in fact, for the Queen's Jubilee. This is one of my nicest antiques. This is like 300 years old. It's actually one of the truncheons from, I think it was King William the something. I might be wrong. There it is there. Who's this back? William or Henry or fucking someone? It's one of the kings. Yeah. So this is what the guards would use before guns.
Just knock people in the head.
Out. Just crack them on the head like that. And this is a decorative one.
I was going to say, are they all fancy like that?
Yeah, that's fancy as shit.
It's very nice.
It's 300 years old?
Apparently so. Or the guy lied to me, saw me come in, said, look, here's a knucklehead. I saw him on the UFC the other night.
How much did that cost?
I bought this in 2012. After I beat Alan Belcher, Newark, New Jersey, bought it from an antique shop in New York. I don't know. It was like $800, I think, back then.
$800?
Yeah, but that's a bargain. That's 300-year-old Kosh.
How many heads do you think that thing's cracked?
Oh, one or two. One or two.
Bunch, I bet.
I like to think so anyway. I like to think so. Makes it all the better. All right, Harrington, give us an MMA story, buddy. What have we got?
Okay, so the head of the California State Athletic Commission weighed in. A lot of people have been talking about open scoring. He said, I'm open to trying it. If it'll improve the sport, I'm open to trying anything. I'm not necessarily in favor of it, but I could be persuaded to try it if it turned out to be a good thing, especially with the amateur program. But you mentioned something that I think gets to the heart of the issue, the yellow card. I think in the United States, we call it the timidity foul. In some respects, I think the foul's not used enough. I think we need to be implementing that foul. I think if you're going to criticize judges, there needs to be something to score. If a wrestler is going to use essentially offensive defense, the wet blanket effect, to keep a fighter from being able to fight for 5 minutes, that's a hard round to score based on our criteria that's based on damage. What do you guys think? Do you want to see more of the timidity foul in some of these cases?
Well, thanks for setting that up, Harrington. Before we get to that aspect about the yellow card, a la Pride back in the day, of course, they used to use the yellow card and the red card. And I am actually, I think I like that, but that's only because I liked it for Pride. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about open scoring first, because there's a lot of mixed feelings about that. And I know Dana has said publicly at press conferences that they don't want to do that. What do you think, Anthony?
I think I like it. I think that I would. I think I'd have more of an opinion on it if I'd been in a couple really close fights and maybe was on the wrong side of a decision. And maybe I would have changed how I fought, knowing that maybe I needed.
What about
to win.
if you're on the right side of that decision?
I don't think it would change how I fought. I think that unless I think it could if you have like a really dominant wrestler. I think then you could get into some problems, but. If you have a really dominant wrestler anyways, it's probably not going to change how he's going to fight. So I would like to know that I'm doing, if we're not going to, we're really critical of the judges. So if we're not going to fix the problem with the judges, at least inform us what's going on. So if I'm doing something and the round ends and I feel like, yeah, everything went right, I feel like I won that round. And then you see that you lost it. Like now I can make an adjustment in my own game plan and change whatever I'm doing based on what the judges are seeing. Like maybe I don't know exactly what they're seeing, but if whatever I'm doing and I felt like that was right and that was winning the round and it didn't, at least that gives me the opportunity to change what I'm doing. Combat sports is we've talked about this before. Combat sports is the only place that you can compete in a sport and you don't know the score as far as you go along. Like what if you get to the end of a basketball game and you have no idea who won? Like it's just, I think I'd like to know.
I think in terms of me being a fighter, I would have liked, of course, you want to know. Of course you want to know. You know, it's round 2 or round 4, whichever one it is, and you're behind, but you're not sure. You know, but you can have a definitive way of knowing, hey, you need a knockout in this round because you're going to lose the decision. Of course you want to know that. But is it necessary for the sport? You know, I think all fighters want to know that, you know, but is it necessary? Because I think the criticism, and I don't
see, and I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think so either. You know, I think the argument against it is that fighters are going to then start coasting. You know, if you're 2 rounds ahead, you're clearly ahead on the scorecards, then you take it easy. I don't know if they would. I mean, Anthony, let's just say your next fight, you're fighting Magomed Ankalaev, right? You're up, you know what I mean? You've got the read on him. You got the timing. You can land at free will. You're ahead, and it's the last round. You're going to go for that finish, or are you going to coast?
I'm going to coast.
Oh, you are?
Oh, you mean like... So if I'm up, well, I don't fight like that. So I'm always looking for the finish. I've never sat and thought, oh man, I wonder if I won that round. I can't think of one time I've ever sat down in the corner and considered whether I won that round or not. It just never mattered.
Why?
To me.
What? Simply because you didn't know?
I'm chasing a finish anyways. I don't care. I'm chasing a finish anyways. But I think what I thought you were getting at is like people's argument is that if someone's going to be up 2 rounds and they know it, then they're going to coast. I don't think at the highest level that's even possible.
I don't think so either.
If I coast in one of these fights, these guys are the best fighters in the fucking world. If you pull your foot off the gas, you're likely to get your fucking head taken off.
The best form of defense is attack. I want to go back to something you said there, though, Anthony, when you sat down on a chair between rounds and thought to myself, did I win that round? Really?
Never.
Because I always thought that.
Never. It's not. I can't think of a time. I'm sure it's happened, you know, like maybe in a close round or something. Maybe I've asked my coach, like, did I get that round? But I can't think of a time that I've ever sat down and thought, man, that was a close round, or did I win it? Maybe I lost that one. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I just never expect to be in there the whole time anyways.
Well, that's a good point. But I mean, of course, I were always trying to win the fight, always trying to stop the fight. Everyone wants that. You want to stop the guy. You want to put an emphatic seal on it. You want the crowd to go wild. You want to potentially get a bonus. You want to make sure you win the fucking fight. Nobody, I have never heard anybody in the history of my 43 years being on this planet, someone say, and being around combat sports pretty much my entire life, game plan in this one. Yeah. Let's get a fucking killer decision, man. You know what I mean? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to decision the fuck out. No, nobody does that. Nobody says that. Nobody feels like that. But I guess that's the one argument against it. Is it? Am I missing anything, Harrington?
No. As well? I think that is the argument, that they're worried that the fighters are going to start coasting and we're going to start getting boring fights. I do think that it takes a bit away from when people get angry. Yeah, when people get angry and they're mad about the decision and like everyone's on the edge of their seat because this fight was so close and you don't know who's going to win. And then there's the uproar, there's the excitement or the happiness, or like when Rose, lost her title, like there was so much not shit happening in that fight. It was exciting when the decision came up because we didn't know who won. It was, it was that close.
Yeah, you're right.
I think
that's a good point.
You lose all of that. And I think that's my one argument against it. I think that I would enjoy the last round of fights less.
No, I'm with you. If they implemented it, I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with it, but if you could have my vote, I don't think it needs to be changed.
What I would like is if, I think Invicta does this, and I know that they broadcast it as well, but you have the option to know, like they'll tell your coaches, and then you have like your coach, and you obviously talk about it before, but you have the decision to whether you want to know or not. I think it would be cool maybe to not broadcast it, but at least tell the fighter if they want to know. I think that would, I think if you don't broadcast it on the pay-per-view or on ESPN Plus, but you also tell the fighter and say, hey, it's 2-2 going into the 5th. Like, you need to win this round. I think that would be fucking important information to know, because maybe you think you're down 2 rounds. Like, say it's a title fight. It's 2-2 going into the 5th. But in my mind, I think oh man, I'm fucking down too. Now I have to go for broke and put myself in terrible positions to try to get a finish. A lot of times when you're chasing a finish like that, you put yourself in bad spots, and sometimes you might get caught and get yourself knocked out. But if it's 2-2 and you just need to win it, then you just have to edge them and stay competitive and keep ahead of them, and I think that would be fair.
But therein lies the problem. That does remove some of the excitement. And as you said before, I think there is a problem with that. I think what needs to happen, I don't think so much it's an issue of open scoring. It's an issue of better judges. And to Harrington's point, the statement that he read from the, who was it, Harrington? The head of the athletic commission in California. Yeah. What's his name again?
CSAC. I will look that up right now.
Yeah, no, I forget his name.
Andy, is it Andy?
Andy Foster.
Andy Foster, yeah.
Mate of mine. There should be some kind of, not strict, but like an unwritten rule, or kind of a written rule, but somewhere in the ballpark of 30 seconds of inaction, then you get separated.
Right. And but then you have to figure out what's considered action, because then you get the little pop shotters and
no, but if you're pushing up against the fence and you're doing nothing and you're just like on the knee, in the thigh, little, you know what I mean? Or if you're on the ground and you're literally laying and praying, for want of a better expression, and you're not even doing the body head, and you're just laying on top and you're holding position, then again, 30 seconds, all right, fuck this.
I think you get 30 seconds of body head. I've never seen anybody KO'd with body head ever. No. If they're posturing up and they're raining big shots, or at least throwing them, let that guy go.
100%. If you posture up, and that's the thing, because you posture up because you want to generate power. The problem for anyone that doesn't know, if you're watching this and you're a fan of the sport, when you posture up, you give the separation, right? You haven't got chest on chest. You haven't got the downward pressure. And then when you posture up to generate the power for a big shot, you've got that space. They can get back to the feet. They can scramble. They can kick on your chest. They can shrimp. They can wall walk. They can whatever it is. They can get back to the feet, and you lose position. That's why they fucking hang on and they cling on, because it's like, I've got him down. I do not want to let him back on the feet because he's better than me on the feet, but I can fucking wrestle the shit out of him. And motherfucker, you're staying there because that referee is going to let me fucking keep you here and put all the people to sleep, Tim Kennedy. Anyway. All right, real quick, I want to tell you about masterworks.io. Listen, get with the program, get with the times, get with the smart investors, get where the rich people are going. Listen, a lot of people, you think when it comes to investments, stocks, what else, cryptocurrencies, things like that, wealthy people, smart people like Oprah Winfrey, they're investing, yes, in the Rolexes, the diamonds, but also more importantly, the artwork, and for good reason. Because I recently found out that Oprah Winfrey sold one of her artworks for over $150 million to some anonymous buyer, raking in $60 million in profit. Think about that for a moment, right? Why should Oprah Winfrey be the only one rolling in the paint money? The more I look into it, the crazier it becomes. I mean, listen, let's talk about the most famous piece of art on the planet, the Mona Lisa. That is appreciated by something like 2 million%. Can you believe that? From 30,000 to 867 million. That's a big increase. Of course, you had to have got into the Mona Lisa a long time ago, but still, there's a lot of artwork out there that is always going up in value. You can buy a tiny little piece of it, and when the artwork gets higher in value, guess what? Your investment goes up. So for you savvy investors out there, if you want to learn more about this, investing in famous artworks without being Rolex rich, all you got to do is visit masterworks.io. The promo code is BELIEVE. And you've also got to see important regulation, disclosures at masterworks.io/CD. Get involved with the paint. Get involved with the Monas, with the Lisas, where the big bucks are at. Go to masterworks.io and the promo code is BELIEVE. Harrington, I believe Eugene Berriman has been talking about the potential fight coming up between, well, it's not a potential, Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira.
Yeah, so he had an interesting quote here. He says it would be nice for Strickland to win because Strickland's body of work is good enough to fight for a title. Whereas if Pereira wins, he's still got more work. He's still got to do more work. I wasn't involved in the fight when Isreal lost to Pereira, so I don't have some deep-seated need to go and beat up Pereira because we lost to him. We had a match with Pereira and lost fair and square. In those matches, that's the life of a fighter. So he's basically saying, Pereira with a win, not a big enough guy to be fighting Isreal Adesanya, but Sean Strickland, that same win, should get him a title shot.
Question for Anthony, and this is not a leading question. I am not trying to get you to suggest anything. I'm a fan of Israel. I am, but I'm just breaking down the statement from his coach there. He wasn't involved with the fight camp when Izzy lost to him, but he is now. And if you got this guy, your student, and he's lost to this guy twice, and he's the champion of the world, and, making tons of money, and everyone by default attached to him is also making tons of money. Do you want your guy, to fight the guy that beat your guy twice, or do you want him to fight Sean Strickland that just jabbed Jack Hermansson's head off?
Well, I think it's basic enough of an answer to say, if you have those two guys standing in front of you with that team, who would you rather fight? It's
Sean Strickland.
100% strong. Sean
And
Strickland.
that's no offense to Izzy and no
Not at all.
offense to Sean. That's
stylistically, that's the better matchup. Take away,
correct.
Fuck the fact that he lost to him twice. Forget that. If you just look at his skill set and his abilities, and then you match that up with Sean Strickland stylistically is a dream matchup for Isreal Adesanya. And that's not even Sean's fault. That's his body type. That's his abilities. That's his speed. That's his power. All of those things Israel has an advantage in. He's longer. He's faster. He's got more power in his hands. He just has a different skill set, and that's not Sean's fault. I think he's done phenomenal with the tools that he was given and his natural ability. I think he's outworked and kind of outkicked his coverage a little bit. But I just, Pereira is big, crazy powerful, just
explosive,
as good, if not better than Israel in every one of those aspects.
By the way,
tough fight.
Sorry, I didn't know you.
No, you're fine.
Izzy's all those things we just said as well. Izzy's all those things. Going back to Strickland, he's a tough opponent because he's got great jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. The one thing that he doesn't really have is the wrestling to put people there. So straight away, I mean, that's good for Izzy or for any kickboxer or for anyone that Sean fights. Because if he had the wrestling to put you down, trust me, I've rolled with Sean a lot. He's very tricky on the ground. He knows what he's doing. On the feet, he's kind of limited. He's kind of basics, fundamentals win fights. What Sean has going for him is that he's got a ridiculous gas tank. He can go and go and go. He's not afraid to engage. The man's a fucking real fighter. Agree, disagree, like the guy, hate the guy, whatever. You can't deny the fighting spirit that he has, right?
Yeah,
he walks people down. He pumps that jab out. He'll occasionally put a right hand behind it. But it's pretty predictable. But it's effective. As I said, fundamentals, they're what win fights. When you take that out, when you compare that to Pereira, ignore the fact that he's beaten Izzy twice. Forget about that. As you said, look at the skill sets, look at the striking, look at how dynamic it is, explosive it is, unpredictable it is. There's 8 different limbs coming at you. Sean, pretty much, if you ask Jack Hermansson, it's a jab. Of course, there's right hands. Of course, there's a left hook here and there. But it's as I said, the boxing fundamentals with probably a little bit of a kick here and there as well. Of course, the guy can probably do spinning back kicks, but he doesn't do them in his fights.
Right.
Fucking Pereira's going to do that. I tell you what, as a fan, I would love to see it, Pereira and Izzy.
Well, I think Pereira he took a little bit of a knock, I think, just kind of on his shine in his last fight. And his star kind of rose for me. His stock rose for me.
Who did he fight last time?
God damn, I can't remember his name. I was thinking about this while you were talking. I'm like, God, I wish I could remember this guy's name. That guy is a goddamn monster.
Mihailidis?
Yes.
Andreas Mihailidis.
Yes, that guy is good. He is crazy tough. He's got an incredible chin. He's got a good gas tank. He's got power in his hands. Really good jiu-jitsu. Like, that guy is good, and he doesn't get enough credit for beating that guy. But the ceiling is so high on Pereira that everyone's just like, he's got to run through him. He's got to run through him. He's got to finish fast. Like, you can't finish everybody in the UFC fast. Some people just don't go away. Some people are just too goddamn tough. And I think he ran into one of those guys. I think that the Israel Pereira fight is an incredible fight. I'd love to watch it. I think Sean Strickland would make it a fight with Izzy, though. I think that's an uphill battle.
I don't doubt that at all.
I think it's a fight. I think it's something that I would enjoy watching.
Sean's a tough motherfucker.
He's fucking tough. I told you the story where he's asked me to spar a couple times when I've been in Vegas. I've told him no every time.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it. I've sparred him a lot. Way. I've sparred him a lot. You'll be good, Anthony. Trust me. No offense, Sean. He knows what's up. No, as a fan, I would love to see that. And you got to think, and of course, I would never speak for the UFC because they don't run these decisions by me. But I would, if it was my promotion. I mean, Izzy's just dominated everyone. We know this. I don't even need to go through it. Only person to beat him is Blachowicz, the light heavyweight champ at the time. He needs fresh meat. He needs fresh challenges, and he needs a storyline in terms. And for Izzy as well, it'd be fantastic. You know what I mean? Because we all want to. Yes, of course, we want to achieve greatness. We want to leave a legacy. We want to, achieve all these things. But we also want money in the bank. And don't get me wrong, by all accounts, Izzy's doing very, very well. He is not shy of a few quid. That's a fact. But still, this would be a chance for revenge for Izzy. I think for the storyline coming in, a guy that beat Izzy twice, once by decision. Apparently that one was close. I haven't seen it. But then once by a knockout. Hey, we all get caught on occasions. Doesn't mean this fight's going to go down like that. What it means is that this fucking sells. It means we've got a storyline. We've got a thing to promote. They've got history. They've got beef. The build up to it, the promotion would be absolutely fantastic. And then come to the fight, by far two of the most dynamic strikers that we've ever seen in the sport of mixed martial arts.
Yeah. And I don't know if Izzy loses. I don't know. He might not. Those fights were a long time ago. So,
and Izzy's by far the better mixed martial artist.
For sure. So, and it's a different sport. That was kind of the point I was going at. This isn't kickboxing with big gloves and all striking. There's a lot of other things going on there. So, excuse me.
Could you imagine Izzy goes out and fucking double legs him?
He hits a blast double and passes his guard on the way down. I do hear Pereira's ground game isn't that bad. He's been working with Glover for a long time. So I hear that his jiu-jitsu was coming along. So I don't know who would win, but I would love to the anticipation of it. There's definitely the storyline, which, I think us as hardcores, we kind of care less about. That's cool, but the fight actually has to be good too. So I think that fight would be really interesting. And they're two really big 85ers. They're both really awkwardly long and tall.
No, awkwardly long.
They're
gangly.
When you were the champion of the world,
and it's just awkward to look
at. Well, when you were the champion of the world, everyone's body type and kind of size was very similar to yours.
Yeah.
And now it's like they're shrinking around the waist and putting all that shrinkage on top. It's the weirdest thing.
And guys like that, they're such a pain in the ass to fight. Those super long guys. What's your reach, Anthony?
77.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's nothing crazy then. I thought it might have been in the 80s.
No, 77.
What's John Jones? 84, I believe.
85 and a half.
85. That's a long reach. That's a pain in the ass. How was that fighting Jones with the reach? Getting on the inside or trying to get on the inside?
Non-existent. It wasn't a problem at all.
Right. Really?
I feel like I wasted an entire training camp worried about trying to get around John's reach. It's waist up. John it's no issue dealing with it. It's kicking.
All the legs.
Yeah, it's all his legs. It's the kicking. It's the way that he manages range. He fights very well in both stances. He's I'm gonna take a lot of shit for this. He's not good enough of a striker to prefer one stance over the other. So his game is very based on, at least in my experience, on neutralizing you and managing that distance. So he's fine without, instead of, someone comes at you, you got your hands up, someone comes at you with an attack. We shuffle. Back foot moves first, then lead foot, back foot, lead foot, and we shuffle backwards because we're preferential to one stance over the other. John switches his feet, so he'll just switch his stance, and so he'll do that 1-2 times. And he's really basic, man. He does the same
Devil's
shit.
Devil's avocado, and I'm with you, by the way. In fact, let me ask you a question. You're walking down the street with your lady. Some psycho's losing his mind. He rips his shirt off. He comes at you. It's on. What stance are you standing in?
Orthodox.
He's gonna kill you.
He's going to kill me? I'm going to run.
He's going to try. I'm
going to run.
No, but you got no choice, right?
Orthodox.
Everyone's there. If you run, he's going to kill your kids.
Yeah, I'm going to stand in Orthodox for sure.
You're going to stand in Orthodox. Do you switch stances?
I do a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, because it is a very common trend, and we see it all the time, and we applaud fighters that can do it so gracefully. But you said something earlier that I often think. I mean, it is great to confuse your opponent, to switch stances, to give them different looks, to overload the mind. Because for those people that don't know, you know, Anthony, but for the believers that have never fought, you stand in orthodox, there's a certain set of strikes that you favor. You know what I mean? As soon as you switch to orthodox, okay, so it's right hand, left up, right hands, jabs, it depends. You don't really use them too well. The kicks change. Everything kind of changes. So, and then, of course, there's the foot battle. You know, you always want to have your lead leg on the outside of their lead leg and all this type of stuff if you're orthodox against orthodox, or sorry, southpaw against southpaw. Right. No, orthodox versus southpaw, pardon me. Yeah. You get what I'm saying. So the switching, it is advantageous to a certain degree. But as you said before, all fighters are better in one stance. There's a reason we're left-handed and we're right-handed. And for the most part, you want to stay in your most dominant stance, because if an opportunity presents itself and you've got an open target, boom, your hardest fucking shot, right hand to the jaw, put him to sleep. Oh no, you're in your other stance because you want to flick about at the calves and you throw the shot and it hasn't got as much power because you shit on that side. I would say that is detrimental, doing it too much.
But he is very unique. You break your hand there. You hit the
microphone.
It was loud too when you hit it.
I don't fuck about.
You hit it so hard, so hard. He's very unique, man. He, like, when he stands orthodox, he's almost always boxing. He'll almost not ever throw a kick. Every once in a while, he'll flick out a random leg kick here and there, but he's almost always boxing. When he switches to southpaw, he's only kicking. He'll almost never punch from southpaw, but he's better defensively in one of those stances. And I don't remember which one it is. I believe defensively, I think he's better from southpaw. So if he's orthodox and he's boxing and you attack him, he will switch to southpaw as he's retreating. So he'll do it straight backwards, which is typically not what we're not taught to do that. Got to move it at angle. But he's so long and so good at managing that distance. He'll just backstep as he's retreating and switch his stance. If he's in southpaw, when you attack him, if it is southpaw, I might have him mixed up, but if it is southpaw, once you start your attack, he'll switch to orthodox as he's retreating and then switch again. So he's taken two big steps on his way out, and then next thing you know, the motherfucker's on the other side of the octagon, and you're nowhere close. So
he's got legs like a fucking gazelle.
It's a fucking trip, man. It was.
No, it is. And listen, and
he's good. He's good. He's got his system figured out.
He is.
And he stays inside of his system. He doesn't.
You don't like him, but you know.
Well, personally, I think he's a douchebag. But he's, as far as his athletic ability, his skills, his title reign, he's the fucking greatest of all time. It is what it is.
On my finger, and it really
Let me see it. Oh my god!
It's just building.
Oh my god!
It's out of focus there.
Oh,
do you ever? I mean, listen. I'm a quote unquote tough guy, not so tough these days, and so are you. What are you like if you walk around the house and you stub your toe or you step on a Lego or something? Because I'm the biggest bitch on the planet.
I'm the biggest pussy in the world. The biggest pussy.
Oh God! And this
toys, it's the worst. Toys are the worst.
I'm always stubbing my toe on like the coffee table or something. My little toe sideways. I'm like, oh God damn! Screaming my head off. Anyway, Harrington, all right, give us a laugh. Come on, then. What else have you got? Non-MMA. Throw a topic at us, and we'll do some questions soon. But please, nothing perverted, nothing sexual.
Okay, I think I'm in the clear still. This one might give you some nightmares, right? It is a childhood classic. Winnie the Pooh fell into public domain that like some point last year, and already a studio has got their wheels turning to turn the beloved children's character into a gruesome horror film. I don't know if you guys have seen this at all, but Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That's Pooh and Piglet in a slasher horror movie showing up. Oh yeah.
Hold on, but it's a Disney product.
So here's the thing: Disney owns the classic, cartoon that you remember, but the original IP is over 100 years old, and you can't hold on to something after a certain amount of time in America with how copyright laws work. So after a certain point, it's just in public domain, and anybody can use those characters. Not like the world that Disney's built up, but the original characters used in those Winnie the Pooh books.
Brian, just go back to that image because this is a low budget production for sure. And you said nothing sexual.
That chick is stacked though.
Yeah, she's got a nice set of bathing clothes on.
Honey pots. She has a beautiful, beautiful bathing suit on.
And she's relaxing. You know, I mean, she's had a glass of wine. She's lying in the bath. Dangerous.
I don't fuck with horror movies, dude. No way.
Leave that on a minute, but I want to talk about you don't like a horror movie, Anthony?
No, hell no.
Why not? Because my wife fucking refuses.
I just hate them. I don't like sitting in like a movie theater. I get so goddamn nervous and I just jump all the time. I don't like being scared.
Well, hold on. We'll discuss this. Brian, I was just going to say, you look like, I mean, that's a low budget thing. I mean, it looks like an episode of, was it Black Mirror or something like that? Yeah. But anyway, get rid of her. Nice set of tits though. Where were we? Oh, yeah. I just said what we're all thinking. Let's be honest. God bless her. She paid a lot of money for that rack. Yeah, Rebecca won't. And I kind of get her, because it annoys me. I said, babe, a lot of movies that are listed as horror movies, they're not like super scary. You know what I mean? They're just like kind of a little suspenseful, a little intense, maybe a little on the darker side. You're not going to be terrified, you know, but she still refuses. And I said, we're missing out on a massive genre of movies. And she says, Michael, I don't want to watch a film that is designed to scare me. I don't want to feel scared. And I'm like, well, I can't really argue with that logic.
Yeah, I'm with her.
Yeah.
I don't like being jumpy the whole time, and then like the music gets real creepy and the lights get low, and I know it's coming. I know something's about to fucking jump out, and there I am tossing popcorn and Bush Light all over the place. It's a pain in the ass, and I just rather
the Bush Light. Scariest movie you've ever seen?
I haven't watched that many.
When I was a kid, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street used to scare. I was shit scared of him, man. Oh, have you never seen it?
No, I don't know. I don't watch
Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm. I had no business watching this. Like 4 or 5. Nancy, she comes back from the dead and she's in a high school and she's in like she's in like, what do you call it, a body bag. It looks like she's walking around in a condom. She's like so covered in blood. And then Freddy Krueger's coming back. He's murdering kids in the dreams with like these knives on his fingers. You've never seen Freddy Krueger.
I mean, I know who Freddy Krueger is, but I've never watched the movie.
You need to go away this weekend, Anthony. Bit of homework for you.
See, like when I was a kid, horror movies to me were like Army of Darkness. But now they're movies like, there was this flick that came out a couple years ago called
Human Centipede.
He was never really there, about this dude who's going through like a schizophrenic breakdown while he's being like a assassin. And it's such like and like that kind of shit scares me now. Whereas I wouldn't really understood it when I was a kid. Whereas like back in the day, it was like monsters and fucking.
Yeah, but a lot of horror movies these days, they're just crap, aren't they? Because they just rely on, as you say, monsters or slashing and, you know, teenage stuff. Proper psychological dramas. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Shining. Have you ever seen The Shining, Anthony?
No.
Bro,
never.
You got to watch it.
No, a horror movie to me is like Inception.
We're doing it for
that
the
is
show.
Fucking terrifying.
You've never have you seen The Shining, Brian?
Oh yeah, we're all gonna have to watch it and like
it's the best.
Like a watch along.
It's legit.
We should.
It's incredible, Anthony. You got to watch The Shining.
How about this? I'll watch it before the show on Monday,
and I'll watch it as well to remind myself.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, all right. Well,
okay.
A great time to go to some questions. Remember, if you want to send in a question, and we urge you to do so because we want to answer them for me, for Anthony, for Brian, for Harrington, or Anthony as well. He's around sometimes. Send them into bympod@gmail.com. Harrington.
And if you're enjoying this show, listening on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. And while you're there, leave a 5-star rating, positive review. It really helps out the show. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit that notification bell to find out whenever new video drops. And if you want to find over 300 episodes you can't find anywhere else, head on over to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use the promo code BYM, get yourself a 7-day free trial to check out this show and 20 others on the network.
I mean, he's a pro, isn't he, Anthony?
He's so smooth with that. I always thought he was reading it from somewhere.
It's the best thing he does with his life.
It's the only good thing he does. It is.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
So
credit where credit's due, Brian.
So his first question, the gentleman didn't leave his name, and he sent the video in from his phone. So I only have his phone number, but
Okay.
thought it was pretty good anyway.
Give him a call.
That's
Do
not the
you have
right
his phone
button.
number?
I do.
Oh my god!
Can we
let's
call him on the show?
Can we FaceTime him?
Let's listen to the question, and I
listen to
will.
let's
do
get a
that.
handle on how weird he is.
Yeah.
But we should call him. Oh.
What's up, dudes? I was doing the rounds on social media this morning, and I saw people rehashing an old argument from last year, a hypothetical, and that is, can LeBron James beat Colby Covington in a fight? I wanted to hear you guys' take on that. And then I wanted to hear, let's say you give him an 8-week camp. Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith are his head coaches. You two. Do you think you could prepare LeBron James for Colby Covington in 8 weeks? I'm saying absolutely. No way. He'd fucking beat the dog shit out of him, probably today. But anyways, I want to hear y'all's opinion on it.
See, that's a really good fucking question. And that's one I like. And I'm just going to go right off the top before I hand the baton to you, Anthony. 100 fucking %. Have you seen the size of LeBron James? He's one of the best athletes on the goddamn planet.
You think so? With an 8-week camp,
Bro, Roy Hibbert.
I think LeBron James finishes Colby Covington with an 8-week training camp with UI.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said. Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of people's gonna have a problem with LeBron James. Yes, do you know what I mean?
Listen. I'm not fighting LeBron James. Not
with an 8-week training camp.
He is
no way
6'9", 300 pounds,
and moves like he's like a fucking 205er.
Listen, Roy Hibbert is a buddy of mine, right? Used to play for the Philadelphia 76ers. I think he's 7'2" or 7'1", right? And there's pictures of me with him, and he makes me look like a very, very small person. But never mind just that. I remember on many occasions, like I say, I was sitting in an Uber with him, or would be in a restaurant or whatever, and I just look at him because you think because he's so tall, they have a gangly or a lanky appearance. But when you look at the guy's neck, it's all in proportion to how big he is. I mean, the guy is a giant of a man. Do you know what I mean? You teach him how to punch. You teach him how to stop a takedown. You show him the absolute basics with their gas tank, with their explosiveness, with the competitiveness that is bred into him for LeBron to be the player that he is. I struggle to find an argument how Colby Covington is going to beat him.
Yeah, I do. Brian, I always hate asking you for stuff because I feel like
it's your podcast.
I know. Could you look up Derek Wolfe from the Denver Broncos? He plays somewhere else now. But anyways, the Denver Broncos, I just need his size. But the Denver Broncos players sometimes come to Factory X in the offseason. There's like 10 of them, and Mark will run them through these sessions, and because they just want to keep in shape and do something new to help with their handwork and the footwork and stuff. I maybe before this, I might have said, I think most fighters would beat most athletes. I watched Derek Wolfe. He's a defensive lineman in the NFL. It was
6'5", according to Brian.
It was like,
my bad.
Yeah, he is fucking massive. Watching the way that he moves, it was almost violent just watching him run through drills, and the way that like a human being at that size is so athletic it's fucking terrifying. You give that guy like an 8-week training camp, I don't know if there's fucking no pass.
Because another thing to consider,
and LeBron is bigger and a better athlete.
Yeah,
than that guy,
and one of the best athletes alive today. Right? Is that fair to say? I'm not the biggest sports guy, but come on, right? So his brain is formatted for this type of thing. He's got amazing hand-eye coordination. So he would pick it up and learn at a tremendous rate. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the big thing, the only way Colby could beat him is to take him down, okay, and then lie on top of him, because he ain't going to stand with him.
No.
He doesn't really stand with anyone. You ain't going to stand with, what is he, 6'9"? You ain't going to stand with him. Especially you teach LeBron how to jab. And this is not an insult to Colby Covington. I'm talking about most people. Certainly every welterweight.
What do you think Colby Covington looks like on a single leg on LeBron?
What's that?
What do you think Colby Covington looks like on a single leg with LeBron? Like,
It looks
like
ridiculous.
Like when Lucas comes up and tries to take you down,
Yes,
just pick him up.
It looked like when I coached season 14 of The Ultimate Fighter, on my team, there was a lot of good fighters. And there was one TJ Dillashaw, right? And I was very fat at that time. And I remember they were trying to take me down, but it just wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't a reality that they just... It was like LeBron would be like you're kicking a little bit of dog shit off your shoe when you've stepped in a bit of dog shit and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, and you're kicking it off. That's what he would be doing to Colby. Like, what are you doing? Get off me,
and that's
you
not
cheeky
Colby's
little
fault.
shit.
Yeah,
No,
it's not Colby's fault
because he's a regular person. LeBron is a freak of nature in the most complimentary way, of course. Anyway, whoever
what a great
you were,
question.
Great question, and I would love to call that guy. That would be great.
All right, so I got another one here from Doug Norton.
All right, Doug.
I think I remember Doug.
He's a good guy, Doug. Doug.
Hi, guys. My question is for Mike. Mike, you love movies, you're in movies, you love martial arts. So I'd love to know what your favourite martial arts films are of all time. And another question to you and to Anthony as well. I've got a 3-year-old daughter. I'd love her to get involved in martial arts of some description in about a year's time when she's 4 or so. There's a local BJJ gym that starts them from the age of 4. And I was wondering what you think about kids starting martial arts when they're very, very young. And if there's any particular types that you think are particularly effective and fun for young kids to do. And crucially, that I can get past my wife because she's less keen on it. Cheers. Bye.
Anthony, go ahead on the children with the martial arts.
I think jiu-jitsu is a fantastic martial arts to start as a kid. What is that thing you say about if it ends with a... Anyways.
Well, no, go on. Say it.
Don't you hate like Taekwondo and...
Oh, if it ends in an O, it's got to go. No, but I'm joking because judo is
judo's
legit.
good. Yeah, judo's
like
legit,
Aikido, Hapkido.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's probably the only two. I was just joking, but you know what I mean?
Anyway.
Just trying to be silly on my YouTube. But yeah, if it ends in an O, it's got to go. Kendo. It's good if you got a wooden sword. Hapkido. I don't know. Aikido.
I don't know what the hell you do with that
Steven Seagal. Shut up. Front kick him to the face. Anthony.
I think jiu-jitsu is a fantastic martial art to start kids, and it's fairly safe too. I know, like watching the kids program at our gym, it's they don't let them fully extend arm bars or get super deep on chokes. Even in the competitions, as soon as someone gets to a choke, when you see the 5-year-olds competing in their little gis, it's the cutest fucking thing in the world. But as soon as they get to like an arm or something, they'll stop it right away. But you don't have to worry about too many injuries in jiu-jitsu. I think it's, especially depending on the school that they go to, there's a lot of structure, there's a lot of discipline. It's hard. I think kids should do things that are really hard. Yeah, I'm totally with that. I think that would be fantastic, and it's easy to sell to your wife. There's no striking. There's not a whole lot of risk of danger for little kids doing jiu-jitsu. Now later on down the line, you get into your 20s, and you start getting guys that are black belts tearing your knees up and stuff. That's a problem.
Yeah, but that's only because you've been ultra competitive,
right?
You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that go and do it, and they're just hobbyists. They're just doing it for a bit of fun.
Yeah, there's 80-year-old men totally do jiu-jitsu all the time. Like you can. That's why I love jiu-jitsu. It's like golf. You can do that your whole life. You just have to adjust your game. Like there's an 80-year-old guy that I roll with quite often, and it's like a flow roll.
Fucking choke him out.
Yeah, it's just a flow roll.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah,
let's go
deal
light.
with it.
Sorry, this is my light, bro. For children, Doug, of course, I can't recommend it highly enough. One of the best things that I ever did as a child was get involved in martial arts because I was a little toe rag. But for all children, it teaches them so much structure. It teaches them confidence, of course, the self-defense and actually the skills that you learn. But that's just one element of it. It's such a social setting. It's such a good influence on them. Like, Tingina BJJ, where Lucas goes and Callum went. It's just such a nice, chill, family vibe, good values, nice people. You're doing a bit of gentle exercise. You're learning some skills. You're socializing. You're being forced to, be put on the spot. You get called out against another child and you got to roll against one another and all the people watch. This is so good for the development of young minds, to be put on the spot, get used to that kind of environment where, you're kind of under a spotlight. It's a small spotlight, but still, all of a sudden you're called out. I mean, we all know as a child when you were a kid, and they come to you and you've got to speak in the class. It's nerve-wracking, but it's kind of like that, but in a physical form almost every week. The benefits of martial arts for children, aside from of course, the physical stuff and the learning of the actual skills is just massive. The social function, you're going to make friends. It's going to improve your confidence. It's going to give you focus. It's going to keep you on the straight and narrow. It's going to work on your flexibility. I mean, I could go on all day, but I've run out of things. Favorite martial arts movie, Anthony?
Probably Bloodsport.
It's one of them, isn't it? It's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What about you?
I don't know. That's definitely one of them. Bloodsport. We're wrapping up now. Is that the missus saying, Anthony, we got to go?
No, I'm in Denver.
Oh, fuck it. We're doing another hour then.
Jeez, I don't want to be awake for another hour.
Get the bush light popping. Enter the Dragon is one of them for sure. Bruce Lee. Have you seen Enter the Dragon?
Yes.
Come on, bro. Enter the Dragon. Big Trouble in Little China is pretty amazing.
You guys ever see The Foot Fist Way?
I have seen The Foot Fist Way. Yeah. What else? Bloodsport.
I need to watch more fucking movies, apparently.
Kickboxer, of course.
Kickboxer's a good one.
Yeah, man. Anything with Jackie Chan. Best of the Best when I was really young. I haven't seen that since I've grown up. Yeah, Best of the Best. And there's a lot. I love them all. Not the new ones.
Fist of the North Star if you want to see somebody's head comically explode.
If you want to see the best martial art movie available on Netflix today, you need to go and watch Triple Threat, starring Michael Jai White, Scott Adkins, Tony Jaa, Tiger Chen. Please fucking tell me I haven't forgot anybody.
Who else is in that movie?
Goddamn Bisping looking fat as a motherfucker. I was so fat on that one. All right, boys.
Girls, we got one more if you wanna do that.
Well, we can't say no now, can we? Because I'll get
assaulted. Now we have to
online.
That's right. It's this one's from Kiki.
Oh, Kiki.
Okay, Kiki.
We like Kiki.
Yeah.
Hey, Bisping, Lionheart, Brian, and Harrington. This is Kiki with another video question. So, at what age did you guys start noticing that weight cutting got a little bit harder than before? Was it past 30, past 35? Just at what age did you notice it was a little bit harder? And my second question is, Anthony, I remember you mentioned that you had a motorcycle. I also ride. I've been riding for about 7 years. Right now I have a Suzuki 650cc Boulevard, and I love it. So I am curious what you ride. Thank you guys. Hopefully you guys had a great holiday. Stay safe. Bye.
Go, Kiki. I'll just quickly say, what was the question? The first bit? Oh, my God. What was the question?
Oh, when did you notice weight cutting was going to start?
Yeah. And then I'll let you do those two back to back. I never really noticed it, if I'm honest. Even towards the end of my career, when I fought Rockhold for the belt on short notice, it was one of the easiest weight cuts of my life. I guess what she's talking about is losing weight, not the actual hard cut. Okay. I don't know though. I mean, I retired at 37 or 38. So it wasn't like my metabolism, my body had slowed down too much. So yeah, I'd be lying and trying to make something up if I said I noticed a slowdown. What about you? You're still young. You're in your prime.
Yeah, as far as cutting weight, like the actual, not losing weight, but cutting it, I think I just pushed it too far for too long. About the time I fought Thiago Santos was the last time, but probably the year before that, for the year leading up to that was pretty rough. I don't remember how old that would make me, but like my late 20s. Yeah. And then, but I was just cutting too much weight. I was just my body just didn't want to do it anymore. As far as losing weight, that's been a more recent thing. Probably, so I'm almost 34. So that's, probably in the last 2 years, I've noticed it doesn't come off as fast. I can tell the difference in my diet. I can tell, if I fuck off for a couple weeks, I can tell, I look a little softer in between fights than I used to.
In at 236. Fucking hell, I was a bloated fat mess.
So yeah, I guess that's when I started noticing.
All right, real quick. I've got a question for everyone listening because before we did the podcast today, I was talking to a company that's going to be doing merchandise for the full word for the podcast. And they wanted some inspiration for designs. And I said, and it just dawned on me, you're Lionheart Smith and I'm the Count. Lionheart, that's like a knight. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
said, well, what about an account? It's all medieval. It's all medieval stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I said, I don't know. I said, what about like, you know, Anthony Smith is in a suit of armor or something, holding up a sword, and I'm like, I don't know. It was just like, I just threw it out there, like verbal diarrhea on the phone.
You heard it here first, believers. BYM longswords are going in the merch shop.
But
yeah.
if any of you guys are graphic designers, or you have any ideas or inspiration for a t-shirt design, hoodie design, and all the rest of it, then please let us know and send them into bympod@gmail.com, or just put the idea in the comments, because we will be reading, we will be looking. Anthony Smith, this is it. This one's over. It's been fun. It's been a ride. Over
It has been. It has been. I'm gonna go take a nap. My training partners beat the shit out of me. I'm gonna go nap it up, and I'm gonna go eat some sushi.
Oh, love a bit of sushi. All right, guys, take care. We'll be back next week.